Alright, good day, hi, and welcome. So I've already taken pictures of the mutant strawberry. You pick up my dog. Ganesh, no. Pick up my cat. No, anyway, okay. So got one being lazy, one being Snoopy. Alright, so I got mixed sunlight conditions today. I got cloud and sun, but I'm getting a bit of vitamin D, so I'm pretty happy. Now the difficulty I'm doing today is something that I don't normally do and I haven't done before, and that's take my own portrait correctly metered. Very difficult to do because how do you focus in on something when you're all the way over here and your camera is all the way over there? That's a pretty cool. I don't normally use the lens hood. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. On this camera, it's an 18 to 70 mil. I find when I zoom into 70, I start to see the shadows of that in the photo. And once you see it once, it just drives you crazy. But however, a lens hood has a lot of. We'll do a separate video on the lens hoods. But right now, we're gonna focus on how are we gonna focus this thing. So I've got the thing set to 50. So 50 mil. There's 70. There's 50. There's 35. Now the easy thing to do would be to go right to 18, put it on infinity. Let the luck fall where it's going to be. But that's not really what I want to do. Because what I do want to do, okay, is put it on 50. I want a portrait, 50 being a standard lens focal length. Now what I want to do is I want to look at, I don't know if the camera will pick it up. There you can see it's on infinity. But I tried it on infinity. Now, the problem is in infinity, the background was fine, but I'm not. So I'm going to see you got feet and meters. So whatever you want to work in, you find. I tend to be a little bit more old school and work in feet. So I can go right up to, or right down to less than 2 feet and as high as, oh, look at those colors pop in the sun. 9 feet to infinity. But I'm probably going to be standing around 4.5 feet. So I'm going to put that meter, and you can see there's a little notch. Just line up the notch with the meter. Hopefully you can see it well. It's kind of an oddball camera angle to get, so I'm going to try that. I got the self timer set for 8 seconds. So what I'm going to do is, you might want to measure it out, but I'm going to try it. It's about 4.5 feet here, so I'll see how it comes out. Looking straight at the camera, and there you go. Now, hopefully I don't have too dumb of a look on my face, but I'm going to try that. And I'll probably try a couple of different, you know what, so I'll probably try it at 3 feet. I'll probably see how it's metered. Now, I might get an overall generally in focus, but I want sharp, so sharp is going to be hard to get. Now, another trick I can do, again, when you know, I got a great camera here. It's still a great camera. It's a little old, the Nikon D100. But it still functions. It still does what you're supposed to do. But one of the things I might want to do is, it's getting kind of hot, so not used to the sun out anymore. One of the things I might want to do is take a couple of pictures at different focal lengths to see what happens. Now, indoor, outdoor, right now I've got my, the filter I got on there is just UV haze. I don't have a polarized filter, I wish. Those things are brutally expensive. And my stand, I don't know what's going on with my stand here, but this poor thing, for what I paid for it, it sure didn't last as long as I would have liked it to. I got tape on it and it's all broken and stuff like that, but I got use out of it. So take a bunch of pictures at different focal lengths, maybe 4.5. If I find that it's blurry, maybe I just move it a little bit this way, or sorry, I'll leave that. Move my focus ring a little bit, say, be closer to 3.5 feet or 4 feet. Maybe that'd be closer to 5 or 6 or 7. And you could try it, you know, just move it. It'd be slow and tedious, but you might actually get a shot that's good. But the other thing you can do is measure out your distance with a measuring tape so that you know exactly how far you are, and then you probably, let's say you're off the wall, you're going to be off the wall about here. So this would be your measurement point. So you put your back to the wall, okay, try it like that, and then measure from right basically where your toes are, because that's pretty much where your nose is going to be. So if you line your toes up with your nose, you got 8 seconds to do this, or whatever you set your timer for. So you line your toes up with your nose, look straight into the camera, after you've measured out the exact, say 4.5, and hopefully you might get a sharp picture. Problem is where's it going to be sharp? Is it going to be sharp on your chin, sharp on your eyes? your goal is to get your eyes sharp. So that's what I'm doing. I'll show you my results. This is going to be an experiment. It may work, it might not. So I'm going to be my own model today. The other thing I could do too is get my cord, put it in, but it only goes to about here. So to take it, focus in, let the autofocus do its thing, but then I'm like, you know, my picture is going to only be here, but if I want a body shot, I can't get it. What I'm going to be doing is some construction kind of stuff, and I want to see if I can take an overly, like a generally sharp picture for stock photography of me maybe chopping wood and doing stuff like that, because I don't have another model right now. Maybe some garden work, whatever it might be. That's what I'm going for. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to get to work. I'll show you some of my results. We'll see how it pulls out, if I can pull it off or not. But the first thing I'm doing today, before I do all those other things that I mentioned, is just seeing if I could find a recipe that works, so that when I do focus in or whatever, like maybe I could focus from here with the cable and try it. And if that works, well, we'll see. But yeah, all right, so that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, basically figure out where my focal lengths are, or focuses, metering is, and then I'll do my poses. So I probably won't get that all done today. Today is more of a research and figuring out how to do it so that it comes out the way I want. All right, there we go. And I'll show you the results after. Okay, I'm going to show you what I'm doing. What a horrible sounding bird. Okay, so I measured out 4.5 feet from my hook. Hopefully you guys can see that. And it goes back to the camera. So what's the broom for? Well, to make sure that the lens is at, this is my straight edge, believe it or not. What I did is, the lens is here, and I'm looking down there to see if there's 4.6 inches or 4.5 feet. And maybe I got to come back, it'll bring the lens back maybe about 1 inch or so. Just to use that as a straight edge. That's all I've done. So I'll bring that back just a little bit. Hopefully you guys can see everything going on. So the 4.6, I want it from here. This is where my focus point is. So I'll try that. And now what I'm going to do, turn on the camera. I got 8 seconds. Got the hook. Nose is right where the hook's supposed to be. A little bit too low. All right. So hopefully that will be in focus. Actually, that's not too bad. Actually, that worked pretty good. Well, from here, it looks like it worked good. I won't know until I see it on the picture. So I'm going to do a couple of them, and maybe I'll just get the best. So basically what I'm doing is I hit my button, I run over here, try not to get too far out of breath. I'm exactly 4.6, 4 foot 6 away from my target. So I line my toe up with edge of the hook right at the edge of the tape. I look, I'm going to have to bring up the camera a little bit, directly into the camera, make sure my nose is, so I can bend my knees at this point, but what I'm going to do is, yeah, that'll work for the next one. So now I don't have to bend as much. I can look straight at the camera, so my nose is pretty much dead center over the, so my focus should be right around my eyes and stuff like that. I'm looking straight at the camera, looking as handsome as ever. We'll try one more. Just to try not to move the camera around too much. Camera on. Ready? Oh, like I say, take a couple of them, see how they come out. Begin. Universe pose. Always look right in the camera, see what you get. That's a good Mr. Universe pose. There we go. So that's how I'm doing it. Not the easiest way to do it. How accurate it's going to be, I don't know. I don't know where the focus is going to be. Like, is the focus going to be here? Is it going to be here? Is it going to be here? I don't know, but it's something that you can experiment with and try. Because you can, on your lens, see where you're going to be, you have at least that much, so at least you know where it's going to be in focus. The trick is to make sure your face is where it needs to be. This is why maybe using a wall would be easier. But let's say I'm going to be a bit further out at 10 feet, where the focus is not going to be as detailed on my eyes. It's not portrait that I'm doing. But if you can do a portrait this way, self-portrait this way, that's pretty good. If you can't, that's okay. But you might be okay, like say if I'm in 18 mil and I'm over 10 feet away, infinity's probably going to work fine. I'll be sharp enough because the detail isn't on me as like in the eyes or the face or whatever. The detail is going to be on my whole body, you know, using a shovel, or you know, if you're a supermodel doing all the stuff supermodels do, whatever it's going to be. So, but that's just an idea anyway. So we'll see what the results are for that.
Alright, so this was set at 4.5 feet, just so you can see how the background is out of focus. Now the next one is at 4.5 feet, but at infinity. So you see the background's now in focus, but I'm out of focus. Now here I am with 4.5 feet on the lens set up, the background's out of focus, and I'm in focus. So I did it again. They're not perfectly focused, but they're actually not too bad. And then of course, here we go for more. The sun went out, but you can see you could still kind of, never mind the lighting, but you can see that it's in focus. So that's 4.5 feet. So there you go. You can take pictures of yourself and focus it out. There you go.